What's going on? We back with the Boston Clinic of More. Shout out to all the brothers that was on the live commentary. We did live scoring no footage today. Appreciate everybody that joined. But it's your boy CJ Goodfella. We gonna do that reaction video separate from the live video talking about Jarrett Swift Hurd getting a close split decision over Erislandy Lara. And I must say, Lara earned a lot of fucking respect from me today. And I bet he earned a lot of fucking respect from everybody out there. And it's sad for us to realize, and I'm guilty of it too, for him to be in a war and really show his heart that it takes that for us to give him that respect. But he needed a dance partner. And a lot of his fights was getting bland and boring from the Von Ash rematch, the East Shady Yuri Foreman. A lot of them shits was getting boring. But today he got a fight that he needed, and he came up short. I had Jarrett Swift Hurd winning by 3 points on my card. But the scores was 114, 113, 114, 113, 114, 113, three of them. And the knockdown proved to be the difference in the 12th round. But, early in the fight, Lara, you could tell that he wanted to not expend a lot of energy, and he knew he needed the energy for the long haul. But obviously it still caught up for him, and Hurd was huge. And people in the chat, one guy was saying Joseph Valentine, shout out to him in the chat, was saying that size don't win fights. Well, yes, it does. Sometimes it does. Hurd was just simply too big for him and wore him out. But Lara fought like a champion. But the mistake that Lara made in this fight was blatant. Lara didn't put tuition in the bank. Lara didn't put water in the basement. Lara didn't tear down the foundation from the base, and he didn't go to the body enough. He threw his combinations. It could have been better, but he threw combinations. The one thing he didn't complete was going to the body to tire out Hurd. He was very active through these rounds. Running his hands, combinations, landing big left hands. He was pop shotting, and he needed to put more combinations together to the head, but he head hunted too much. He should have been going to the body more. He did early. He got away from it, tried to go back to about the 7th, 8th round, but Hurd was just too strong. Hurd's volume, reminds me of Paul Williams with a more stronger body, with more power, and his left hook was better than I rated it before. It wasn't Angulo left hook, but it was a good left hook, and he abandoned it some this fight, but he got back to it late, and it proved to be the difference maker, him throwing it and dropping Lara, or setting it up to drop Lara, and he did it. He beat the dog walker shit out of Lara. His size was too much. Lara was holding his own. And Lara was doing his thing. Lara was doing his thing. He was boxing well, moving well. He wasn't over moving. He wasn't, doing the most. He was doing enough. But at the end of the day, he didn't run his combinations good enough. And that's simply what it was. He did not run his combinations, good enough, and he didn't work the body enough. Hurd worked the body. Hurd hit the shoulders. Hurd hit the uppercut. Hurd jab. Hurd cut the ring off better. Hurd moved his head better this fight. Hurd improved a lot this fight. He did. I could see the growth. Maybe not to the average eye, but I could see the growth. He was moving his head some, and he was doing his thing. And Jamel Charlo was talking right now, which I'm gonna have to go back and see what he said. He's very, very animated and tuned up, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the Cuban curse is real. Gamboa's epic fall, Rigondeaux quitting versus Lomachenko, Luis Ortiz getting knocked out, Sullivan Barrera getting knocked out, Doc Torres, the dude from the Cruiserweight tournament, losing, Sullivan Barrera getting knocked out, Francis Bartholomew getting beat down, and now Erislandy Lara getting beat down. Cuban boxing school is down and out right now. And I think, after this close decision, but the ass whooping that Lara took, Lara at 34, he won't be the same fighter in my opinion. I think this is a career-changing fight that he took. He took a lot of punishment. And that weight in this fight kind of reminds me of Chavez Jr. beating on Sergio Martinez and how he wasn't the same fighter after that beating, even though he won, and Chavez didn't win. And the bigger guy in this case, and Hurd did win. I just think Lara won't be the same fighter. I think he need to take some time off. He got cut in the eye. He had the swole eye on top of the eye, bottom of the eye. He took a lot of punishment. Hurd is just a big motherfucker, man. He's very, very big, and strong and improving. As big as he is, he's improving just that much. I seen him cut the ring off very easily. versus Trout and Tony Harrison, he followed those dudes around the ring the whole time. This fight, he didn't do that. He cut the ring off. He used his jab. He used his left hook to the body. And, he improved. I don't know if anybody's seen it but me, but he improved. This is a better Hurd than I've seen. And now he's the IBO, I don't count it, the WBA and IBF champion. He said after the fight, would you like to fight Charlo or rematch Lara? He said he runs the show, He said he runs the show. He's number one now. Him and his team going to make that decision. And he said, I don't duck nobody. But when you in a position, like I talked about earlier on the live stream earlier this morning we did, when you coming up, yeah, you hungry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you scrapping for food. You feel me? You hungry. But once you made it, once you get to the number one of the division like Swift Hurd is, I don't think Swift Hurd is going to be in a rush to fight Charlo this year. I don't think he's going to rush to fight Charlo. And, gauging that fight right now, he gonna fight a real puncher in Charlo. He gonna fight another guy that's just as physically as strong as he is and big as he is in Charlo. He knows that. They know each other well. And that's a good fight for Charlo to prove that the Vanez shit was just a blip and he was young. Now he's a full-grown man, and Hurd, brings that same energy, that same, destructive type of pressure fighter that Vanez brought that night. But he's a better puncher and he's stronger than Vanez. He's a better fighter than Vanez. Might not be from a technical standpoint, but Charlo and Hurd is the fight to see. But I think after this tough fight, I think Hurd takes an easy fight, maybe a mandatory defense, and then comes back next year sometimes to fight Charlo. And I respect that because he took 3 tough fights from Harrison to Trout to a unification bout with Lara. For Lara, I think it's time off and just, get back to the drawing board and get healthy, in my opinion, because I just think he took a lot of punishment tonight. Like I said, I thought he should have went to the body early. He didn't. But, hey, he did what he had to. He did what he thought he needed to do. And Hurd was just a better gentleman tonight. It's tougher, stronger, younger fighter. And boxing, like they say, it's a young man's game, and it's Hurd's world. Unified champion. And him and Charlo will be a good fight, but obviously I think they're gonna make him wait like Hurd said. He said, I'm number one. I call the shot. I sit down with my team. If he would have said he wanted, Charlo like he demanded Lara, then I would have, I would have said okay. But at the end of the day, Charlo let a new guy come and get Lara and become number one. Ain't nobody his fault.